The cold wind howled across the empty plains as Ethan Cole, a quiet and hardened gunslinger, rode through the fading light of dusk. His coat was dusty, his face worn from years of silence and solitude. He had seen too much of the world, too much cruelty, too much loss. Ethan wasn't heading anywhere in particular. Men like him never really had a destination, just distance. As his horse slowed near an abandoned trading post, something unusual caught his eye, a figure. At first he thought it was just a pile of cloth left behind, but as he got closer he saw movement, a slight tremble. It was a woman. She was sitting on the ground, her back against the wooden wall, her head lowered. Her clothes were torn, covered in dirt. One side of her face was bruised, swollen, as if she had been struck again and again. Ethan quickly got off his horse. "Hey," he said softly, kneeling beside her. The woman flinched, her body stiff with fear. Her eyes, dark and filled with pain, slowly lifted to meet his. She didn't speak. Instead, she handed him a small, crumpled piece of paper with trembling fingers. Ethan opened it. "I'm not wanted. Please don't send me back." He looked at her again. Something in his chest tightened. "What's your name?" he asked. She hesitated, then whispered, "Maylin." Her voice was barely audible, like it had been buried under fear for too long. Ethan nodded slowly. "You're not alone now," he said firmly. For the first time, her eyes softened. Just a little. A quiet beginning. Ethan took Maylin to his small ranch, far from towns and trouble. It wasn't much, just a wooden cabin, a stable, and miles of open land, but it was safe. At first, Maylin barely spoke. She moved quietly, like a shadow, always watching, always careful. Loud sounds made her jump. Sudden movements made her step back. Ethan didn't push her. He gave her space, food, warm clothes, a place to sleep. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, she began to help around the house, cooking, cleaning, feeding the horses. She worked hard, almost like she was trying to prove she deserved to stay. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Ethan found her standing outside, staring at the sky. "You don't have to earn your place here," he said gently. She looked at him, confused. "This is your home now," he added. Her lips trembled slightly. No one had ever said that to her before. The truth comes out. One night a storm rolled in. Thunder shook the ground, lightning cracked the sky. Maylin woke up screaming. Ethan rushed into her room. "It's okay, it's just thunder," he said. But she shook her head, tears streaming down her face. They used to come at night," she whispered. Ethan's expression darkened. Between broken words and quiet sobs, the truth came out. She had been sold, treated like property, beaten when she resisted, locked away when she cried, and when she finally tried to escape, they hunted her. That note was her last hope. Ethan clenched his fists. "I won't let anyone hurt you again," he said. This time his voice wasn't just gentle. It was a promise. Shadows return. Months passed and Maylin slowly began to smile again. She laughed once while feeding the chickens, and Ethan almost didn't recognize the sound. But peace never lasts forever. One afternoon, a group of men rode up to the ranch. Ethan saw them from a distance, rough-looking, armed. His jaw tightened. "They found me," Maylin whispered, her face turning pale. Ethan stepped in front of her. "Stay inside," he said. The men dismounted, their leader smirking. Well, there she is." "She doesn't belong to you anymore," Ethan said coldly. The man laughed. "We paid for her." Ethan's eyes turned to steel. "She's not for sale." The tension snapped. The fight for freedom. The gunfight was fast and brutal. Ethan moved like a storm, quick, precise, unstoppable. Years of experience showed in every shot. One by one, the men fell. The leader tried to run. Ethan didn't let him. When it was over, silence returned to the plains. Maylin stepped outside, her hands shaking. "Is it over?" she asked. Ethan nodded. "It's over." She looked at him. Really looked this time, not as a stranger, not as a savior, but as someone she could trust. A new life. Seasons changed. The ranch felt different now, warmer, alive. Maylin planted flowers near the cabin. She learned to ride, to laugh, to live. One evening, she stood beside Ethan as the sun set. "You saved me," she said softly. Ethan shook his head. "You saved yourself. I just gave you a place to stand." She smiled. And for the first time in a long time, she looked free. Sometimes all a broken soul needs is someone to say, You're not alone anymore.